Drop my cheese. Easy cheese. Keeps choosing without cheese. Cheese. That's a cheese string. Cheese. Cheese him too hard. Cheese. I need. Cheese.
Hey, what's going on everybody? SenpaiRelax back on the mic, and today we're going to be talking about TSM Leffen, who has stirred up some controversy in the Tekken scene amongst many. He has been relentlessly on his streams calling the game Tekken cheesy. For clarification, the word cheesy is a gained traction as a way of describing something as being cheap or inferior in a fighting game, so obviously this can upset someone. And along with that, he is the #1 stream person on Tekken, as he always has 1K views. So this will be someone like a new player would first see him, so this is very like hurtful for the community because this can easily make someone not want to pick up the game. And along with that, it's just he's you know, his accolades of, you know, what he's achieved of being one of the best in Smash, and then alongside of Dragon Ball Fighters, I believe he was he almost be the best person in that game. So, you know, with that background of being a very good player in fighting game, he feels that he'll be a very good player in Tekken as well. But Tekken isn't one of those games that you can easily pick up. There's many things to learn, and alongside that, this is one of the worst ones, I would say. In this time of Tekken, you know, it's very hard to get good at this game because it's so bloated. It has so many characters, especially for a newcomer. And along with that, Tekken doesn't have a tutorial for you to learn all the rules and what goes on in the matches. So it's kind of like, you know, you either have someone helping you or you're learning by yourself step by step, because Japanese fighting games kind of have that vendetta for them. But these are the clips that I have are some that he did cause controversy, and I think that should be go over in this video. And alongside, this is like what I first clicked on, and this is what you first see. So just imagine yourself being a newcomer to this game and what you would think after instantly clicking on this video. So let's just dive right in.
Is he minus after the jump one? I have no fucking idea what this character does. Oh my god, he keeps fusing with that. That's save? Okay. What? Oh, I'm getting so tilted by the cheese. I need to play him straight up. Okay, impossible. Impossible. That, what? Is that jab a low? It looks like a dick jab. Sick game. Sick bounce. What are you supposed to do against that? That's a high? That move is fucking unbeatable. Legitimately unfucking beatable. Tekken is by far the most cheesy of all the current fighting games. Not even close. I don't think there's a game that's even close, honestly. No, Ultimate's not close. It has a lot of stupid mechanics, but and a lot of matchups. But I wouldn't necessarily call most of it cheese. It's just very degenerate and campy. Yeah, I think Ultimate's a worse competitive game than Tekken, but I do think the Ultimate is less cheese-based. I don't think online is what makes it cheese, but I do think online encourages cheese for sure. The biggest problem with Tekken is that moves are not clear. You cannot learn things without going into the lab. Training mode is shit.
Oh, okay, I remember this part. So he said that online doesn't make it cheese. Okay, so you're already degenerating, like, you know, obviously people like to say that online typically people will play more cheap and they would try to get away with moves because it's online and you can't really have a fast reaction depending on the connection, and you know that's totally different. But he's completely dodging the online factor completely. So this is like if we're talking about offline, so he's saying the game is still cheesy regardless of offline play, online play. But my thing is that you aren't good at the game yet, where you're not able to, you know, evaluate both games and compare or contrast one another, because you're only good at one said game, not the other game. This game, you're not good at it yet. That's like me doing the same thing. I'm not good at Smash, but here I am coming over and saying, well, I played 300 matches in Smash and I can give a good evaluation of the two. No, it's not going to be very accurate because I'm very ignorant to the game, and so are you. You are ignorant to Tekken. You're not exactly on par as of a high level. You can't make a high level compare and contrast with the game. So that's where I put my points at. And then so he goes into like 3 points on why he believes Tekken is bad. He goes, moves are not clear, and my thing with this is certain times, yes, some moves aren't really clear about what they do. Like sometimes the move can look like a high, but it's a mid. So sometimes you do have those faults where it's like, wow. And like earlier, you know, he thought Lars's crouch down forward 1+2 was a dick jab. I mean, that's the game. Like with any new character you play against, so say it's a new character, Kani Mitsudon came out, and many people don't know about her moves. So you see the low for the first time, and you're like, wow, that's a low. It must have hit me. I was stand blocking. So you now learn that that move is a low. Like you learn something from that. So now you know from next time that guy does it, he's crouching, he does that low, you know, to duck. That's how it goes. You're going to slowly learn. It's just not something you're going to pick up immediately. So yeah, that just going over those is just something he's just gonna have to learn. Next, he says you cannot learn things while going into lab. This is false because there's many things you can learn that you don't need to go into lab. You just gotta test it. That's what the game's about. You know, all these matches, why keep going on with the same game plan? Like, oh well, I don't know this move, so I'm just gonna block. Why don't you try stepping it? Why don't you try ducking it? Why don't you try interrupting it? Tekken gives you these options on what to do. Maybe try to backdash and then do or power crush through it. I mean, it's so many options you are given in Tekken. That's why a lot of people love the game Tekken. It's various options. So saying that you have to go into lab for everything is false. It seems like you're more of a I have to see it and understand it and like have the move keep coming at me repeatedly to understand what's going on. That's what the gist I see from him. That's just my opinion, but you know, he could say otherwise. And then lastly, he says the training mode is shit. One, there is no training mode. I have to give you that. We don't have a tutorial, and that's something us Tekken players have been arguing for Destiny, like for decades. It's just something we have not gotten. The Tag 2 one was just terrible, so we don't even count that one. It's just they haven't done it right. They haven't did it in a proper way, you know, made it fun to learn, where it's not like Virtua Fighter and you're just book learning. They haven't exactly given us a proper tutorial in how to play this game. And that goes all the way back to Japanese style games, so yeah. And then lastly, there's 100 moves per character. Now, in your fighting game, you might like that it's short move list. It's not that many moves to learn from each character. Whereas in this fighting game, there is a pretty good amount of moves to learn, and they all have their purpose. It gives Tekken depth, and I like it because, you know, no one wants to keep. I'm not the person who likes to keep throwing the same move out there all day long. I want to utilize my whole move list. I want to utilize everything that I have with my character. There's purposes when to use these certain moves. Yes, at a high level, it's very better to use this certain move, but some moves can pay. The moves that you don't really use have ways of being able to pay off for you. Maybe they have some type of evasion. Maybe they have some type of jail frame, where the plus frame ability to trick your opponent and not even knowing. Like I use 4-4-4 with Nina, and people don't know that that's a plus frame move because it's just two simple kicks. So things like that, like it's just about learning. It's a bunch of death with this game. So if you don't like a game with a bunch of death, just say you don't like that type of game, and you don't think you should have to learn all these things because you may play a game that's much more simpler in terms of moves and commands. So yeah, let's just get back to the video.
The training mode is shit, and there's 100 moves per character. I never said I wasn't cheesing myself, HGG. Again, this game is cheese-based. Of course I have to use cheese.
So he states his game as being cheese-based, and of course he has to use cheese. What exactly is cheating or being very cheesy about the game? I don't get, because he's just saying everything is cheese when, how can you state everything is cheese when, you know, that's part, the game is meant to be poke style, you know, it's various play styles that can be implemented in this game. Clearly he is having trouble from the Lars player who is doing Silent Entry 2 over and over. In my thing, you could call it cheesy all you want, or, you know, as low tier level minds spamming the move over and over. But the thing is, why stop spamming the move or using the move if your opponent doesn't know how to handle the move? Clearly you have not punished Silent Entry 2 correctly at all, or nearly even hop kick him for it. You haven't sidewalked him for it. You haven't did many other options you have in the game. So it's just that mindset. You haven't exactly like think outside of the box and like try to implement different ways. So, and then my thing is, calling everything cheese doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Like, what makes the game so cheat worthy? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I think I just need him to evaluate and understand, because I just, from these clips, it's just not clear, nor does he tell you like why he feels like the game is very cheesy. It's just more of him being ignorant to exactly what goes on in the state of Tekken. He's just very frustrated. He's not at a high level yet, and that's just what's going on for me.
Yeah, like, I don't think large move lists are inherently a terrible idea. I do think it's when at top level you only use like 5 different ones. That obviously lends itself to cheese. But I still think having a cheese-based game is like fine in theory. The problem is that it's so impossible to learn each specific one. Even if the game was like fun to...
Oh, see, obviously he says something at the end about how, like, you know, it's kind of impossible to learn. It's not impossible. You just got to keep playing the game. That's all that is. And trying to downplay the value of using said moves in a specific way, which is what the many moves lists are for. You're supposed to use them, and some moves, I will give you that. Some moves are just basically pointless and clones of some other character. But many moves have a purpose, and you know, and the timing of when you should use said move. So I think he's just, once again, you know, just not used to this game yet, and so he's just calling it what he believes it to be. You know, how a bunch of low tier minds call it very, you know, call stuff spammy. You're not good at the game, even though they just don't understand stuff
like
yet.
Fun to like was the most entertaining subject of all time, which I personally don't think. Like, I don't think cheese is a very fun like, I don't think having 100 moves where only 10 of them are used at top level is good game design, and it's subjectively what I do not prefer. But even if I did, Tekken has such a bad teacher that it's not fun learning the subject, even if the subject itself was bad. I mean, it was good.
Okay, so yeah, this is a very bold opinion. Just, you know, overall, like, not exactly knowing everything, and yeah, you know, it depends on you. It's just something that, this is just a bold opinion, you know. Whether or not you like having a bunch of moves in the game, whether or not you like having less moves in the game, is on you. So I feel like you're kind of digging yourself a hole. You know you don't like that this game has a bunch of moves, and it's just more frustration that's just gonna build up. And I feel like, coming back to it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like the way you left it, you realize that this game is a lot of moves. It's gonna take a while. It's not one of those games you can just grasp on and play. Because that's the beauty of Tekken to me. I like that you learn something new every other fight. You learn something as you keep going. I'm kind of sick of this era of games where games want to be very easy to play, very minimal move list and all that. I don't like that. It's not me. I like to be in games where it takes me a long time to understand and get good at it. So that's why probably Call of Duty doesn't appeal to me anymore, because it's not something that's, you could be very high at high level play, but that game still has high level play. Not to say that easy games don't, it's just that, you could probably get there quicker in those type of games than you would in a game such as Tekken. So yeah, that's just what I gotta say about that.
Great games, great game. Yeah, this game is not cheese based. This game is really fundamental based. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to quit like that. Yeah, that's the good thing about Tekken. It's all about movement, and it's all about clean reads and like deep mind games between each opponent. Yeah. It's really cool because you need each 100 moves to like really break the defense. It's a very cool game. Very hard, actually. You wouldn't know though. You have to be very fundamentally solid. Very, very fundamentally solid. Very fundamentally solid. Wait, so there's 100 moves per character and 50 characters. Does that mean there's 5,000 moves? No, online is not about cheese in any game. Tekken is very much about cheese, though. Oh shit, a Smurf. So there's about 5,000 moves. 6K moves. Yeah. I mean, that's on me. That's on me. How did I not know move number 4,592? Like, it's ridiculous of me to expect. Like, I should have just labbed that out before the match. Honestly, yeah. That's on me. That's on me. How could someone complain about that? I mean, it's 4,592. It's like, yeah. It's like, come on, Leffen. Or actually, was it move 5,235? They both look very similar. Is move 5,232 minus 12 or minus 13, guys? Do you know? Or do you not have high IQ enough?
So, this is the end of the clips. As you can tell, there's people who try to tell him, give him advice, and obviously it's not going to be easy to implement into your gameplay and your strategy. It's something, once again, you'll have to grow into. And I hate how he kind of mocks, those said people who are actually trying to give him advice and, help them out and not be douches who might come in and say, Leffen, go fuck yourself, you don't like Tekken. Those people, you need to chill out, dude. But the people who actually want to help this dude and get better at the game, those people you should appreciate. They are there to help you. They're here to help you grow. They're here to show you the good side of the community, not the bad side. And you're just, you're buying into the negativity, and that's something I don't like. You need to stray away from that. You need to realize that, maybe this game is not the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. I need to understand the values of this game. Maybe I don't like the values of this game and I should stay away from said game. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, there is many moves, and some are very pointless and just don't have any purpose at all, and that's on Tekken. Yeah, that is something bad, but getting frustrated and just building it up just doesn't make any sense to me. I think that you should reevaluate, learn from your sessions, you know, rewatch your matches. That's something I bet he doesn't do at all yet, and that's a highly important thing. Once you keep comparing yourself and thinking that people will play at this very fundamentally way, and you're not there yet. And there's people who, like, even with like pro players such as like Little Majin, Cuddlecore, those are some of the ones I watch a lot. They go against, you know, they play online too, man. They play online as well, and they go against some of the most, you know, random people who don't care about the fundamentals of Tekken, and sometimes they lose. But guess what? They rematch, they understand, they adapt, they quickly try to grasp what is my opponent's strategy, and what do they think that is gonna work against me. And that's something that he's not getting yet, and it's not clicking in his head. He's just building up frustration once again. And so yeah, and overall this video is probably going to be titled something about like how is TSM Leffen hurting the Tekken community. And I just think he does, because he's not engaging with it in a positivity way. He's just keep going in a negative route, and because it's not living up to his game's potential, he's gonna keep bashing it, which isn't a good thing, and it's not appreciated around, and it shouldn't be appreciated. So I think people should start talking about it. I think people should be aware, but I don't think people should handle negativity with negativity. It's just something you should have an open discussion about, and that's why I just wanted to make this video. Hopefully it blows up, and maybe it doesn't, who cares. But yeah, please leave your thoughts and comments down below. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm looking at it way too much, but yeah, that's my video for today, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Peace.